Alright, are we all back?
Yeah,
You speak for everyone now, do you?
I speak for me.
So did we get rid of our exhaustion with that last rest, or not until we have like a really good long rest?
That classifies technically as a long rest, so yes, it would have removed the exhaustion. How long does your mage armor last, Karth? Also,
Oh, 8 hours. It's gone.
go ahead and do some house cleaning here. Get rid of these adverse old effects. Alright, good deal. So, uh, we just make it to the edge of the city of Elturel, which is there's this huge beaming glowing light that streaks into the sky, but this down here at this level as you're just approaching, it's definitely even though there is the column of light that you've seen now for many hours of traveling as you approach the city. Down here, it is just an overall radiance of illumination. It is warming a little. Not that it actually provides heat, but just some signs of overall comfort.
Like a healing spell.
Yeah, but maybe not quite that far. It is a walled city. It is mostly circular, and it has, or I guess not entirely, because it rests up against the edge of an actual river. In fact, the city itself is mostly on the north side of the river. So as you guys come up, you can see the major roads that travel east and west that enter the city across its gates on the north side of the river. And then there is a stone bridge that is not too wide that leads over the river at a particular point at a very high arch. It's a pretty big river. Uh, easily 100 foot across. So this stone bridge arcs over across the middle, large enough so that boats, even sailboats, could travel under it. It's on the bridge is on these large embankments which have long ramps that lead up to it across the big bridge, which then connects into the side of the city, which is the whole city itself seems to be elevated somewhat on its own uh, kind of platform that doesn't look natural, given the area all around is so flat. It's almost disorienting. Just because we've been so used to the flat all the way across for many days of travel now, and now see this thing that is lifted so high in the air, mostly is some form of safety precaution, defensibility, but also protection from the river and other reasons that kind of match that. There is a handful of guards on this side of the river, as there is a large gate on the other side that appears to be closed on this particular south entrance.
The gate's closed, like they're not letting anybody across. Are there other people
Uh,
or just the guards?
the gate is on the other side of the bridge. So
Oh,
there are guards on this side of the bridge, and there's like a little particular space that's kind of built. It's like a little building that has basically a large open area across the front of it, just so they could see out of it, almost like a big newspaper stand kind of thing. Um, where the guards are stationed. You can see as you walk up, and that's on this side of the river. And then the bridge spans across the river, and then the big gate to the city is closed.
Am I still a horse, or would that have worn off by now?
Oh, that would have worn off by now. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I go walk up to the guard and start talking to him, and you're like, you neigh at him. Yeah. I guess I'll go up to the guard at the gate, or at the newspaper stand.
I'm gonna jump off my horse and do a front flip and say hi.
Of course you would.
What are you
TX.
folks traveling about at such crazy hours of the night?
TX, remember what I told you about that bird?
Right, we're gonna need our room.
No, no. That's not what I meant. I kind of shove him out of the way, and I go.
Okay, that one got
You've done
me
this
right.
to yourself.
That one got me right in
I
a
know.
funny spot right there. Holy Jesus. Okay.
I need a second.
Okay. So I shove TX out of the way, and I go up to the guard, and
That was a good roll for that too.
Are you
I-
inciting her to see if,
Yeah.
unfortunately, a small wave of realization hits you that maybe that was not her intent. Does not seem that even in the playground version of roughhousing meaning affection, that is at all what she is intending.
2 rooms.
I tell the guard we were sent to meet somebody in the city, named Onthar Frume.
Onthar? Sent
Yes.
by whom?
Leosin or Lanthar?
Can't say I know him.
And Rygar.
And Rygar, yes. We met him on the way here.
I'm gonna cast minor illusion on my hand and make it look like one of those gauntlets that I saw on their shields.
You were directed by Lord Rygar? You were the party that he was seeking?
Yes, sir. He sent us on ahead. He said we were needed urgently in the city.
Very well then, very well then. We must not keep Onthar waiting, even at this hour of the night. I imagine he is having himself a bit of fun in a tavern.
Would you know which tavern?
With him, there is only one tavern.
And that would be?
Oh no, I forgot. There's a
Distracting bird.
man, yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay. I was like, I know what it has. A pair of black antlers. That is his headquarters.
Black
Are you
antlers.
Are you folks of the Gauntlet?
No.
No.
We're friends of the Gauntlet.
I do know one.
Go ahead and hit up a persuasion here. and Karth a deception. As well.
Who's rolling persuasion?
Let's see. All three of you that have spoke. And then deception was specifically for her.
I
Oh,
wasn't
good
totally
dice.
trying to deceive. I mean, we met them. They didn't kill us. Pretty friendly.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's not a hard DC. It's just seeing how it came across more than anything. Well, so I figure you folk not part of the order, especially since you didn't even know about the headquarters. But you probably friends. If you know Rygar, and you're here for Onthar, what else could you be? Hey, Darian. He's kind of motion over, dude, from the other side. Take these folks to the Black Antlers. So I can give a quick salute right away, and then if y'all folk follow me.
I follow him.
He's gonna grab a what looks to be like some kind of whistle or something off of a chain that's on the wall. And then he's going to lead you guys across this huge bridge towards the closed gate, where when he gets within about 25 feet or so, he will blow on this whistle, which lets off a shrill, and he's going to do 3 blasts with that whistle. Kind of rings the ear a little bit. And then as he does, as he keeps walking, the doors begin to open. As he leads you into the city. You can see that this side of the city doesn't seem to be the area for much trade. This is probably more rural traffic, specifically. All the trade would likely be across the main entrances to the east and west. And as you can see, the essentially this city is built like a big. The road structure is built like a big T for the main roads, and you're moving along the long arc up to the cross of that T. And he's going to take you a good 30 minutes across this pretty big city here towards... go ahead.
As we're walking, I kind of go up to him and say, Rygar loaned us these horses. Is there somewhere that we should take them?
They're on loan, huh?
Yes.
Well, when we get there, I'll deal with them.
Okay.
So he's going to lead you through this main large street. It's going to take you almost 30 minutes of walking behind him as he's leading you through. The streets are pretty clear, being the time of day that it is, just a little bit after midnight. He's going to kind of turn down. You can kind of see this huge cross section that's much wider than the street you're on. That this part of this street runs into along the road. But before you get there, about 100 feet or so out, he's going to turn down a pretty wide road to the right, leading you off into a huge 3-story building. Out front, you see the sign that is looks like 2 large deer or elk antlers that are intertwined as though they're being butting up against one another. Yep, this here be the antlers.
Is there someone we should talk to inside to find Onthar?
Look for the biggest and the loudest. You'll see him.
Okay.
He kind of looks up. Yep, this time of night he's probably causing all kinds of trouble. You folks have a bit of fun. I'll take the horses.
Thanks.
And so he kind of takes the reins for all of them and starts leading them as a pack off to the side. Now, instead of going all the way back to the main street, he just kind of turns south on some side street and disappears around the corner out of view.
I gotta look at the tavern and look at the city around me.
I'm gonna go marching right in. Because tavern, hello.
Yeah, you're taking it back. This is, Greenest is still more of like a little village surrounding a keep, where the keep is kind of the more civilized bit. But if you extrapolate the keep into, this is a very large river port city that sees a lot of trade and traffic. It's not as big as some of like the bigger named Baldur's Gate and things of that nature, but it is a sizable city.
It's probably the biggest city I've ever been in.
All the buildings in this area are 2 stories tall, except for this one here that are all 3 stories tall. That is a 3-story tall building itself, and they're all not just like mashed together like high rises or anything of the like, where the buildings are literally built next to each other. There is a bit of space between them, so even though it's a big city and it's got the big city feel with the big buildings, the buildings are large. There's actual space between the buildings and little alleyways. They're not all crunched together. It's as though this city was laid out and planned, or has been rebuilt, one or the other, specifically to have some space. So if you, as you kind of approach the tavern itself, you can hear a raucous laughter coming from the inside. There's quite a bit of a roar. Seems as though it is quite a bit of fun being had on the inside.
Alright, as soon as I get in there, I'm gonna look for the nearest drink.
I will follow TX. You said drink. I need one after being with these people all day.
I'm gonna hang back a bit, but I'll follow them in.
I'm gonna stay at the edges and maybe listen to conversations going on around me. Stay in the shadows a bit.
As you come in, as you open the door and start stepping your way in, you see, this is a huge common room. The entire size of this lower floor, this entire of this huge building, is all just one big common room that is supported with columns all throughout for such a large building. As you come in off to the right, all the way back against the wall, is an actual bar setup. Off to the left is a big fireplace. There's tables scattered throughout the whole room, of which most all of it is completely filled up with. There's a few seats here and there, and there's probably an empty table or two in the whole place. But for most part, this establishment is quite bustling, and there's quite a lot of people laughing and carrying on. There is completely opposite from the door, there's like a little slightly raised stage with some musicians that are playing. Out in front of those musicians, stamping his feet and with a giant stein in his hand, is someone being overly loud and almost obnoxiously loud. and that person is a hulking behemoth of a man, over 6.5 feet tall, very broad-shouldered, big curly brown beard, with kind of slicked back over the top brown hair.
Hey, TX, you should go say hi.
And you can see that there's a lot of people around him that are obviously paying him particular attention as he's carrying on and hooping and semi dancing in front of the music while drinking from the big stein.
I'm gonna order 2 drinks, one for me, and I'm gonna bring that one to that big loud dude.
The little loud dude and the big loud dude getting together. Woo!
Yeah, there's a little, actually a small halfling female carrying a tray of drinks comes out from around the side of the bar as you're kind of moving up towards it and says, "Well, hello, I'm Ellie. What can I get for you folk? Haven't seen you before."
Ellie, I'm TX, and that tray is exactly what I'm looking for.
The tray? I think these already have patrons in mind, but I've got another tray with your name on it, if you give me just a moment.
Sounds great.
She kind of gives you a little wry wink as she kind of almost very gracefully dances and dodges around people as she moves over to a table in the middle and sets down the tray before coming back. So, tray coming up. Would you like anything in particular? Oh, you name it, we've got it.
Something a little ambery and amber ale.
Well, amber ale would be ambery. I think I can handle that just fine.
Yeah, I'll take a pint of one of those.
Drinks around. Separate from his tray, or would you like your own tray full of ambery ales?
1 pint will be good for now.
Very well indeed. Okay, so amber ales across the room. And I take it, it's kind of looking at TX. And you are the one buying for everyone, I think?
I'm gonna flash a very wide grin and say, I got everything.
Everything. Just the kind of man I like. Gives you a bit of a wink as she runs around and starts, grabbing mugs off a shelf from underneath the bar and starts filling them up from a little station from behind.
I give
Tray for
TX
you.
a little nudge and go, hey, hey.
She brings you a tray that's got 5 of these mugs on it. And it's like, so, just for you.
I'm gonna say, follow me, and we're gonna go over to Big Loud Dude.
She kind of turns off to the other people that were approaching. Well, I'll take care of this, and I'll be back to take care of you fine folk. Just a moment. She's gonna, as you're kind of walking over there, she's gonna kind of lean over. Although I don't think you should probably call him the loud dude.
Thanks. Don't tell him I called him that either. And once we get there, I'm gonna take one of the beers off the tray and slam it on the table right in front of him.
Just before you do that, she's gonna kind of just kind of hold the tray out, and with one arm on the other arm, she's gonna kind of squeeze your shoulder just a little bit and say, "Don't worry, dearie, your secret is safe with me." As you grab that mug and slam it down in front of on the table beside him there, she's just gonna set the tray down on the table and kind of turn and bounce, and then going over to get the drink for the other two. And so this very large man who is just kind of hooping and dancing and drinking out of this big stein doesn't notice you approaching as he's kind of facing away from you, looking
A
looking
normal
towards
shoulder?
the music. But as soon as you slam down that drink to the side, you can see his head whip around like a snake almost, and look down at you.
I'm gonna hold out a hand in a handshake, and with my other hand, I'm gonna gesture that that ale belongs to him now.
You see he's kind of have this like real grizzled look on his face. This is kind of like in this little bit of a scowl, kind of staring at you at first, and then you say that this ale is his, and then you see him kind of get stern, and then that just a little bit of that sternness breaks, and the smile just sticks into the corner, and then just starts busting up this huge roaring laughter. It's that kind of echoes across, and just the base of it kind of vibrates your chest a little. Little man, very good. Ale for me, you know the way to my heart. And who are you?
I am TX of the Mendelean Adventure Group.
Damn, I thought I was going to start with TX the Great or something. Damn.
Well, TX, are you here with that stuffy, no good monk? Is that who you're looking for?
That I am.
Yep, I know just the man. He's been all over the city. He should be back in the morning. In the meantime, might as well have all the fun we can have. Pick up that drink that you set down in front of him, and he's just gonna chug the whole thing right there and slam it back down. And for you,
I'm gonna grab the one of the glasses and chug it as fast as I can, although nowhere near as fast as he can.
just even kind of wipe off the foam across his mouth and sling it off his hand to his side. Well, do you at least fancy you a tune?
Oh, most certainly.
Well, why don't you sit a spell and tell me about your troubles? Once old Stuffy Pants gets here, it'll be all said and done. I know we got business. I know what you're about. There's a time for business, and that time ain't yet.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start regaling him about, uh, marching into the bandit camp. Uh, me first, leading the way. Um, with lots of bravado and taking on three or four. No, this thing is three. Gigantic, living, moving funguses by myself, and then about taking on, discovering a bunch of kobolds that were lying in ambush, and I created illusions and misdirection and caused them to give up their position, and ended up saving my party from what would have been a very tough battle.
Heroic little bugger, aren't you?
It's
It's
like
just
you
gonna
know
kind
me.
of clap you across the back, and it kind of knocks you forward, almost knocking you down. As the back of his hand is nearly as large as the entirety of your back as he kind of slaps you. Ah, good fun, good fun. Tell me more.
Oh yeah. So in the deepest, darkest part of the cave, there was this odd thing. It was, it almost looked like part of the cave itself, but it was living, and it had all sorts of like tentacle things that were uh, very long, very dangerous, and it was going to go after us, but we persuaded it to eat the drakes instead. And that's when we recovered the dragon eggs.
Dragons and eggs and drakes, big tentacly monsters. My, that's a tale to spin for the legends.
He called him out.
I'm gonna make a little illusion in my hand of that what the hell was that called? Roper? I think that's what it was called. But that's the thing I'm putting in my hand.
My, you are serious, aren't you? I thought you was pulling my leg. The biggest fish you ever caught. Hmm. You know, them things pretty darn dangerous. Little guy like you took 'em on.
There are times, well, we didn't take on the Roper. Uh, you know, there are some battles that aren't worth fighting. We were already tired. We were already, uh, we had already achieved our goal of getting those eggs. We wanted to get out of there.
Not every
Nice.
battle's won with the tip of a sword. I'd say you made it out pretty lucky. Lucky that thing didn't just snap you in two. How'd you guys manage to persuade it? Doesn't seem like the kind of thing that cares what you say.
All it wanted was food, and it looked at me as if I was going to be its breakfast. And then we told them about a great big source of food that the dragons were keeping from them.
Hmm. I'll have to remember that next time I run across one of them. Who knows? Might be tomorrow. That's the kind of man I am, you know.
I'm gonna cackle loudly and give him a nice slap on, well, his shin, kind of like the one he gave me on my back.
I can just picture a little thing like you. Scary as all hell, aren't you?
Jeez. So these eggs we had to carry, they were bigger than me. And we had to carry them on horseback, and that was no easy task. I barely saw a foot in front of me with a big egg in front of my face. But you know, the rest of the party, they kept us safe, and when we made it back to Greenest, to a hero's welcome.
Well, heroes indeed. Saving the day. Thanks to you lot, we know twice as much as we did not 10 days ago. But that's business. We'll talk business tomorrow. Although I might give you a bit of handy advice. We are in the company of friends. But maybe you shouldn't blab your damn mouth so much.
Damn!
Pause with a very grim look on his face. Just pulling your leg. Or am I?
I'm
Careful,
gonna
Onthar.
giggle, I'm gonna cackle, and then stop whenever he stops, and then whenever he starts, I'm going to start again.
Yeah, you see that, he's hiding quite a bit of who he is a little bit, yet at the same time, it's all hidden behind who he is. It's definitely pretty genuine that he's just this big, cut about, likes to party pretty much and just have a lot of fun with people. But at the same time, maybe some of that advice was meant. Kind of hard to read on whether how you're supposed to react to him. So yeah, laughing. Basically, laugh when he laughs and don't laugh when he doesn't.
And other than the ride here, there's not much else has happened to. Although, if you come from much far north, you might have heard of me. And I'm going to point to the band playing and saying, I can play a mean chord when and if I choose.
So whenever, this little 12-year-old girl is like, hey, Bucky, I did this, I did that, I can go ahead and like this, and it'll only
Although,
update the entire webpage.
lately
and
my
just,
tastes have been more for,
update
or
that
my
little
music's been more for the
section
women.
right
I don't
there.
think you would appreciate it as
So,
much,
another thing
if you
that
know
it
what I
does
mean.
is I'll show you guys some other examples later, but that's basically what Ajax is. It allows you to communicate with your server while the user is still on.
What's wrong?
Guys, when you order now, you get a free pizza after Super Bowl 50.
That's a great idea. Ever notice how people always show up when you have free pizza? Free pizza? Hello? We get it after the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'll come back.
That was weird.
Order now through Super Bowl
Getting
Sunday
spam
at
of some sort.
papajohns.com and get a free pizza starting the Monday after Super Bowl. Use promo code Super Bowl 50.
Better ingredients,
Better pizza,
better football.
papajohns.com.
Good now.
the webpage without interrupting their experience. And the last thing I want to show you guys is way back when, what you needed to do whenever you submitted a form or sign up for a webpage is you basically needed to submit all your information.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah, apparently there's some kind of ad playing off of one of my browser tabs. It popped up. I probably have some kind of malware or something I have to take care of. So I kind of missed the last thing that said because some advertisement just started blaring in my ears.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah, I was saying that other than adventuring, I can play a good chord on the lyre, although that wouldn't likely be for your taste, as they're geared mostly towards the ladies. And at the mention of ladies, I'm gonna look around the bar.
Unfortunately, the numbers are not in the gentleman's favor. As is a good portion of the people in the actual bar are male, more than 80%. There's a handful of females, most of which appear to be some form of staff. Across varying races, a couple halflings, a couple humans, even a couple of some elvish blood. There's a couple.
So Ronan and I would be kind of a strange sight for them then.
I don't know about
I'm
strange
sure
sight.
I am.
There's a couple of patrons that are female. At the moment, at least, there doesn't seem to be very many specifically that are female patrons.
In a city full of polished armor and
Rowan's kind of the queen of the Amazons.
yeah. That's probably why I look weird.
It is important to note that there is a mix of some of the people in here are obvious soldiers, but not everyone. There are what you might consider regular folks that are also about regular townsfolk attire. It's not all, even though it's a tavern that is obviously focused on a particular clientele. That clientele is not necessarily all military in nature.
Alright. I'm gonna try and start introducing my companions. Karth! Karth, come over here.
I grab another few beers and bring them over to TX and Onthar.
Yeah, so as kind of as the conversation has taken place, you've had yours that you kind of downed, and along the way while you're telling your story, he's just basically picked up one little mug and just tossed it back over and over while you've been telling your story, and you look down and they're all empty.
Well, damn.
Alright, Karth, you're rolling up with some more drinks. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So as you kind of walk up, you're, got a few drinks in your hands here, and as you kind of got motioned over by TX, Onthar is looking over in your direction as you're coming up. And what kind of chap we got here? A little bit bigger than the little fella, but still just scrawny.
We found him in the cave, and he was being picked on by some kobolds, but as soon as they were distracted, he turned the tables on them. And so we figured that was good enough for us. This is Karth.
So with that big hand, he's going to kind of clap you on the back too. Ah ha ha! Another one.
Yeah, just kind of laugh with them a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit of alcohol here. Been eating nothing but, trail mix for a week.
So what kind of fun are you folks about? You got any stories to tell, Karth?
I think TX has got the stories cornered at the moment.
He spins a mighty fine story, that's for sure.
I'm gonna take a quick glance, and I'm gonna not. I don't know if I see anyone else, like Fane or Morn or Rowan.
Fane and I are just sitting at a table near you guys, I think.
Warren got a room and went up to meditate and recuperate after a long journey. He didn't like all these people.
Meditate. Gotcha.
Thinking about the birds.
Alright, so I'm gonna call over Rowan and Fane then and say, this is the man we want to meet.
I kind of sigh and get up and walk over to him.
He's going to kind of give out one of those, a little bit of a whistle through his teeth. Whew. Well, aren't you a lovely bit?
A what now?
Why, yes indeed.
Rygar told us we were supposed to catch a boat.
Boat.
You know anything about a boat?
Yeah, I know about a boat. We got lots of business to discuss. Tonight's not about business, it's about fun. Have business in the morning.
He said it was urgent.
He's gonna kind of lean down a little bit to you. And he's gonna kind of whisper, "It is urgent. And even though this is a place of good, not all things need to be said. For now, suffice to say, this is a better front." Ha 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 ha! From him, you're kind of getting
no
this,
boat would leave at this hour.
getting a little bit of a. It's kind of hard to read, really, because he goes from being very rude and yet also just kind of very blatant and abrasive on this exterior of just being a big goofball. But when he kind of ended to whisper in your ear, it seemed very serious. A different tone, different mentality, different everything. As though a lot of his kind of like I was telling TX earlier, he's hiding behind himself. He obviously enjoys the laughter and the carrying on and being the goofball, but he hides. There's a lot of seriousness underneath, and he is trying to hide that outwardly a little.
I lean into him and I ask, "Are we being watched?"
He's gonna lean down. Where there's eyes, people are watching.
I'm also going to laugh. I'm going to say, well, perhaps they need a spectacle to watch more closely then. And I'm going to pull out my lyre. and hop up on stage. And go dice.
I'll kind of get up and clap Onthar on the shoulder and tell him, you know, maybe you're right. I'm gonna see if I can find us some food, and then I'm gonna walk away out to somewhere where there's not so many people.
You're gonna try to move, walk over. Are you trying to take
To a
him
wall
with you?
somewhere.
Or?
No, just me. I'm walking away, trying to get somewhere a little
Just
more private,
away
near a
up?
wall.
Yeah.
Near a wall or something. I'm gonna wild shape into a spider, which I'm assuming is very small, because it says it's tiny. A spider. I want to climb up the wall onto the ceiling, sneaky, and just kind of hide and watch and see if there's anybody acting weird.
Okay, go ahead and try to do. She kind of move yourself out of sight. Let's go ahead and roll a stealth check to see if anybody watches you turn it, like is really aware of you turning into a spider.
Oh, not good.
You definitely notice that as you kind of go over to the corner, no one's really paying you much mind, but you know you're there. No one really sees you turn into the spider, but they do take notice that you are there and then you are not. Some people are kind of looking around a little bit, and just a moment kind of passes of just them kind of being aware or alert, and then the kind of general chatter continues again.
I wait until the chatter starts again, and then I try to stealthy sneak up the wall and onto the ceiling, and then watch from there.
Okay.
I have a stealth +4 as a spider.
Yeah, let's do that separately.
Okay, better.
Yeah. Yeah, plus, I mean, given your current shape and stature, you know, it's it has different. The role has slightly different meaning than if you were to do it just standing there in the middle of, you know, just an open bar.
Right.
All right.
And I watched this whole exchange. Like, I didn't get up when TX motioned to us. I just kind of sat there and watched them all. But if TX is going to start playing, then I will probably find a way to find a room.
Okay. Yeah. It's not hard to flag down any one of several of the people in the area that are support staff. They seem to be really overly staffed compared to your normal tavern that has as many patrons. I mean, it's a pretty bustling, busy place, but they definitely have extra attendance. Something just of particular note. Yeah, so you can flag one down.
And as I do so, I want to walk past Onthar and maybe touch his arm and like maybe roll a perception to see if I can see anything about his character just by his stance and how he's been acting.
Okay. That would probably still be some insight, specifically. Yeah, you really get a good sense that he's very skilled at disguising certain aspects behind himself. He's able to put out the appearance that everyone expects him to, while hiding a lot of his true nature, and he's very good at it.
All right, I'm going to thank him for having us in his thing and tell him I'm going to have some good rest and leave the barn
Okay.
area.
My internal clock's kind of screwed up, so I'm going to try and stay up as long as I can from the previous night. Yeah.
Okay, so you play your music and continue on to party, and you can see that Onthar is gonna be willing to kind of go as long as you're having fun. Everyone seems to be having fun. It doesn't seem to take too long as time passes for a lot of the patrons to start picking up and heading out for the evening. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets kind of down to like 10-15% capacity. Most of the staff retires for the night as well. As this is going on, how many are going to want to try to get a room, get to sleep for the night?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a room.
I would, once I am not a spider anymore. I can stay a spider for 2 hours. I'm gonna keep an eye and see if there's, anybody acting weird.
I get this. I don't trust something, but I have no idea what I don't trust. So I don't know.
Yeah. So, as you're trying to keep a good lookout for people that are acting. What happened?
Had a bit of a blip, says it reconnected.
Yeah, for everybody. I'm showing the same.
All good.
Okay. Yeah. So what we're seeing is, that
Yep, still works.
there's no one that seems to be particularly acting weird or anything like that. He doesn't seem to be worried about any one person causing trouble or anything like that. I think he's just being overly cautious. It's kind of the sense that you're getting in observing is, you see him kind of being mindful of what stories are getting told and what other people around him are saying, and but at the same time also still holding out the outward appearances, and no one seems to be under any particular scrutiny.
Okay, well, if I'm satisfied with that, then I'll crawl back down the wall and then let go of the wild shape, flag down Ellie, maybe get some food for everybody, and then get a room for myself after that.
Yep. So the only one that's going to be trying to stay up all the night to reset the clock is TX.
Sounds like it.
Okay. The staff leads you to each to your own room, as there's plenty upstairs, all the way up on the 3rd floor. You do get a lay of the land. You do notice that near the bar there is a door leading down into a cellar. There is the second room is mostly inn-type rooms, but there's also some. Like the kitchen is on the second floor. There's a couple of open meeting rooms as you see through the hallway, and then on the third floor is mostly all just room for guests. And time will pass as you guys get some sleep. TX in the morning, it's still you're still up, and Onthar shows no sign of showing, despite having personally witnessed him drink a considerable amount of alcoholic beverages, enough that would probably put any normal man to stupor. Seems relatively unaffected by it. And that's not even counting whatever he had drinking before you even arrived.
I would have switched to coffee sometime in, on the late night, I guess.
Sometime just around dawn, as you're, still carrying on in the main room, you do notice that Leosin enters, just sometime right after dawn, 30, 40 minutes or so.
I am going to keep my eye on him, and if ever he looks in my direction, I will give him a nod.
Yeah, so as he comes in, he kind of scans about. He came in alone. You know that he had some disciples that were supposed to be here with him, but at this point he is alone. And he's going to quickly kind of scurry across the room over to you, looking up at Onthar, who just kind of looks down at him, nods his head, and then Leosin's just going to kind of motion you forward as he goes back towards the stairs, heading up.
Okay.
He's going to kind of disappear up the stairs, and Onthar's going to kind of look off over at you. Well, you're going to collect your friends and let's get this business on the road.
All right. I'm sure they'll be all glad to see me in the morning. And kind of chuckle and head up the stairs.
Yeah, it's only been about 5 hours or so since most everyone went to bed. I'll be back in just 1 second.
Okay, back.
Nice to have you.
Alrighty, so yeah, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start knocking on doors until I figure out who, you know, room service. Until I get to the people I need to get to, because I have no idea where they're staying.
As you've interrupted the sleep of a couple of people, oh, you're not the right person, and then just keep moving on. You do this a couple of times, and then one of the staff from the kitchens notice you kind of doing this and go, can I help you?
Do you know where I can find undisciplined monk, Amazon queen, sly thieving wench, and crazy dude with flaming hands? And then I'm gonna chuckle and be like, I'm just looking for my friends. I have no idea where they're staying.
You just see those little meek little girls like, the whole time, just as you're talking. I do know where your friends are. I don't know about wenches and fire and what any of that other stuff you said. But I know where your friends are. Just follow me. And lead you up to the third floor, and point out just these 4 rooms right here. Just don't bother any of the other people, please. That'd be nice.
That was never my intention, and thank you. You can go now.
You see the okay. Just like go back downstairs.
Alright, I'm gonna start knocking on doors. And if they don't open within like a minute, I'm gonna go in. If it's locked, then I'll try and pick the lock.
Mine's locked.
For sure locked.
Would you get up from the knocking?
Yeah.
I press to digitate a do not disturb sign on my door.
Alright, so you first come to what would be actually Karth's door. And you knock. Karth, you hear the knocking sound. You are very tired after a horrible night's sleep in the rain, in the mud, with the horse, followed by a long day of travel, and then now only 5 hours after you've been to sleep. Waking is difficult. But how do you respond?
I'm just sort of staring at the ceiling. I was like, did I just hear a knock, or was I dreaming? And then slowly fall back to sleep.
Alright.
Okay.
So the minute goes by, and the door's locked, and then you manage to pick the lock. Pretty easily. What are you going to do with unlocked door?
Open it and go. Karth, you need to wake up now. Don't make me come wake you forcefully.
I just go, and sort of throw my feet off the bed.
Great. I'm gonna move on to the next one then.
Alright.
Okay.
The
I'm gonna
next
knock on the next one, on the next door.
the next one is Morn's door. And you knock loudly on it. How does Morn respond? He does hear. It does. You are definitely woken by the knock itself. Well,
Wolfen?
Hello?
No? Sorry.
Can't tell if role playing.
I was sleeping.
yes. Yes, you are.
In game.
So, TX just knocked on your door with it, to your room. It's only been about 5 hours of sleep. How would
That
you?
throat said something at door. Told me to go the hell away. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna roll perception and see if he's drunk. Does he sound drunk?
I shouldn't.
He doesn't seem in the best mood. But drunk is not the way that you would have described.
Okay. I'm gonna slip into a corner of the room and tell him to come in.
Okay.
Come in!
Okay, I'm gonna turn the door. Is it locked or not?
No. I'm
Right.
such a badass, why lock the door?
Okay. I'll go in and look at the bed. Is he in the bed?
Well, not in the bed. Although, you see him like trying to Metal Gear Solid over in the corner of the room off to the left. But it looks almost humorously so, with his arms in the corner, pressed up against the wall, like looking around like he's
Shh, nobody sees me.
yeah.
Is anybody home?
I'm
No.
gonna press to digitate some sparks right in front of his eyes and be like, "Come on, we gotta go."
But why?
We have to meet with Leosin.
I want more sleep.
Get it afterwards.
We know that doesn't work that way. But okay. Let me get my things.
Alright, great. I'm gonna move on to the next door then.
The next is Fane's room.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Whoa, he knocked?
He knocked on all the doors.
Yeah, but no.
Do I
no
wake
mischief?
up from a knock, Dred?
You do indeed.
Alright, I tiptoe to the door and I whisper, "Who is it?"
It's me, DX. We gotta go now.
I'm sleeping.
No, you're not. You're talking to me.
Go away.
Don't make me come in there.
Whatever, go away.
She called you whatever.
I'm gonna go for the doorknob. Is it locked?
It's locked,
Yep.
of course.
This is totally not cool. Open up the door.
I kind of collapse at the door. He probably hears a big thump.
Now she's laying in front of the door. That's not nice.
Is it a pull door or a push door? From my perspective.
Pull.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the lock.
Fire code. Inward doors must open out. Fire code.
No, I don't know. My door's open in.
Okay. I'm assuming that lock is equally as easy to pick as Celeste.
Yes. Yeah, they're all the same
All
kind
right.
of locks.
I'm gonna open up the door then.
I just look at you. I don't say anything.
Leosin's here. We gotta go.
I just stare at you.
Okay, great. Moving on to the next one.
And the final door is Rowan. Luckily, you weren't meant.
I'm going to recall the shove earlier and then knock on the door.
Huh? What? Who's it?
It's TX. We gotta go.
I told you I didn't mean it that way.
Okay,
Wait, go?
okay,
What
but
time is it?
Leosin's here.
Oh, okay. Give me a couple minutes. I just gotta put my armor back on.
Okay, I'm gonna go for picking the lock.
You picking the lock? Okay. You go to rattling around on the lock, but it does not seem to come unlatched.
Alright. See you when you come out there then.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
you all eventually make it into the hallway in various states of pretty much pissed off, I'd say. As TX is waiting for you in the hallway to lead you back down downstairs.
Come on, someone's gotta be responsible.
As you drop one floor, as the first flight, and you can see Onthar and Leosin talking to each other in front of one of the open, what would have been meeting rooms on the second floor, down near the kitchen. They look up as they see you come down the stairs and kind of motion you over.
Can I go over?
Yeah, head on over. Good morning. I think it's morning. Gonna kind of rub my eyes.
At the sight of Leosin, I straighten up and act like I've been awake for hours.
As you're kind of coming down the hallway, both of them kind of disappear into the room. And you see them; they're at this kind of conference table. And as you come in, you see Leosin stand there and motion for you to all sit down. Please shut the door. Come in. We have much to discuss.
I go in and sit down.
I'm gonna say yep, and then look at Onthar and be like, "It is business o'clock."
And then kind of turn, and that big laugh he's gonna let out and kind of give you a bit of a wink. Yeah, come on in. As you go in and shut the door and kind of sit around. Leosin's going to begin to talk. All right, very good work for all of you. I couldn't believe that you managed to complete the task so successfully. We heard word that Rygar is on his way of return. After approaching the city, we have sent out an envoy to meet him. just to get some information. Messengers were sent. They have just returned, and he shall be here later today. Maybe much later today. So good job. So with that, I must at least honor our business part of our bargain. And I would say that I was going to give you all 200 gold pieces apiece for completing the mission. Now, I had in mind that there were 6 of you. What happened to your friend?
Laurel had to go back and check in with his order.
Good. The more help we can get, the word spreads, the faster we can tackle this problem. Yep, the money was set aside anyway, so he tosses the bag out into the middle. That's surprising that actually give him the money. Huh. I thought he was actually removed from that.
I will make sure it gets to him.
Oh well, there feels that. Trivial, but that is over. I felt I needed to get that out of the way before at least we talked about the next set of business. So now we know a few things. We've found just a message from some of my friends from Candlekeep. That convoy full of all of those stolen possessions are on their way up the coastway to Baldur's Gate and beyond.
Yeah, we saw a lot of tracks that were coming from the camp, that they were going all over the place.
They had a few days head start on you, but it is important to note that they traveled much slower than you did, thank goodness. I'd put them out of Baldur's Gate almost a week from last, based on the sightings. Those wagons moving slow, loaded and laden. Now, by horse, it'd take you a bit more than a week to get to Baldur's Gate. But this is where our plan comes to be. Now, and at this moment, Onthar's going to just kind of stand up and just kind of quietly listen a minute. Now, we can't quite catch these rascals. Not right out in the open. We don't know what they're up to, and we don't know what they're doing. We know it's more than just stealing gold. It's weird for the cult to be this far west. They used to do business way out in the east, where they were summoning Draco-liches and all kinds of hordes of nightmare. But now they're here, with living dragons. We've seen a lot of stuff dealing with Tiamat. It's always been a focus of them. But now is something different. We think they might have the means, or at least the idea, of how to bring back the mother of the chromatic evil. We can't let that happen. We can't ambush them head on. We're gonna have to go about it a different way.
Rygar mentioned a subterfuge.
That idiot. He is one well-honed, pointed sword. But that's where his talents lie. Keeping his mouth shut and doing what needs to be done despite his honor. That's not his business.
I kind of give TX a pointed look when he mentions keeping his mouth shut.
Just gonna kind of see a little of this exchange and just kind of nod his head a bit as he continues on. Well, here's the thing about Baldur's Gate, and you probably know this. I don't know. Baldur's Gate is set up with special set of economy and trade. Internally, they contain all the roads, and they have a monopoly on the trade that goes through there. You have to pay for all of your stuff to be unloaded, couried through their couriers only, across the city, and unloaded with new traveling equipment on the other side. It's how they operate. It's how they've always operated.
So how would the cultists be planning to get wagons full of stolen treasure through Baldur's Gate?
This is for my knowledge of Baldur's Gate. Okay. Go on.
Well, just like any trade goods, who knows if it's stolen or not? That's not their business. They don't check for that. They just take the coin for the currying. That's how they make their money. That huge convoy is going to hit the south side of Baldur's Gate. There's no way around. They control the bridges across the river. They'll unload, they'll get new wagons, new guards, new people, new drivers, all on the north side. That's where you come in. We got a boat that can get you there in 3 or 4 days. That'll put you a whole few days ahead of the wagon train. From there, you can figure out one way or the other to get in with that wagon train. I've got some contacts there who are willing to help you. Get hired in as guards, wagon drivers, escorts, whatever it takes. Be a part of that caravan. Find out what they're doing. We can't tackle them until we know who or what to tackle. This is much bigger than this. We need to know where they're going, what their plans are, how they're going to set up shop, and how we can take them out.
Our adventuring group is often hired as caravan guards. Would they hire outside guards like that, or are they specifically Baldur's Gate guards?
It kind of depends on the different groups and who's going, and couriers are part of it. Usually there's some kind of business. It's a pretty big commonplace thing for people to hire merchant guards for caravans. Chances are it's not going to be all cultists. That would be a little too suspicious. They're very likely going to just be mixing up with some regular trade convoys. You might get in that way. Hire onto those other people.
That sounds plausible.
You
Who's
mentioned
your
contacts?
So- Yeah, who is this contact we're supposed to meet in Baldur's Gate then?
Go to the Merchants Guild. And type it up.
I'm reading that voice drag. Can you end it with it? Oh yeah. Because you sound like Randy Savage.
Illithale and Illalaith. Very inventive, their parents must have been. But friends to the cause they are. They'll get you set up with what you need to know there. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, this is weird.
Disconnected. Connected. Channel switched.
Ta-da!
WB.
Did they make it back to you?
I don't know. Dread?
Disconnected. Connected. Channel switched.
Something broke. Oh, well, fixed again. Fixed again.
Hey, you're back.
What are you doing?
My push start broke for some reason. That was weird.
Oh, I thought my push dock was shutting off TeamSpeak.
Anyway, yeah, he was saying that Illithale and Illalaith are brothers. And he made a particular remark about his parents not being too inventive. He said they're both half-elves, and they are definitely friends. We got a
They'll
boat.
help us.
We got a boat ready, and it's secured for 2 p.m. today.
And what time is it now?
Like 7 in the morning.
Okay.
And let's see. Leosin's going to okay. So we know we're going to do this thing, and I trust that you're already on board. I don't have to really speak to your honor or any of that stuff. I know directly what to speak to. He's gonna take a sack, toss it in the middle of the table, and it's gonna make a large clunk sound when it lands. Not like a bag of coins. If you complete your task and make it north along the way, this will be waiting for you with some friends of mine in Waterdeep.
Can I look in the bag?
You can.
I do that.
As you start peeling off the cover of the bag itself, what you see very quickly is this bright, gleaming, massive ruby, bigger than your fist. Or as big as your fist, I guess, would be about right. Actually, I was thinking someone else might be the one to grab the bag first.
So does that... I guess that would just go to the guild. And then they can pay us.
That ruby's worth at least 1,200 gold.
That's a lot.
If you were to complete your task, that would be yours. And I believe my friend Onthar here has some other offer to sweeten the deal. Why, yes. I got a little traveling money so you can have a little fun on the way.
You mean besides preventing the end of the world?
You know.
I know your lot. I know who you work for. I understand how this works. So I'll give each of you 50 gold with traveling money. Just for fun along the way. That, and you have open access to any of the armor we've got. I suggest maybe you do yourself up a look a little different. Who knows? They might know what you look like. Somebody may have seen you. Anybody make it out you left alive?
I kind of look down at my armor, like, what's wrong with my armor?
You want new weapons? They're yours. We got everything that you could ever want. Nothing touched with the magic, but all fine steel. Well-worked armor,
Steel.
good leather.
Leather, you say?
Arrows, perhaps?
Pick you out whatever you need. We've got them. It's on the house.
I, yeah, any cloaks?
Traveling gear, clothes, blankets.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, when we infiltrate this caravan, you're just looking for information, or are we supposed to, like, stop them as part of the caravan?
Well, I suppose that anyone with a good chance ought to take it, but
Our main objective.
really gotta know the big fish. We're still eating our way up the food chain.
When we learn what we need to learn, do we just report that to the brothers, or we finish our objective? Where do we go?
Waterdeep's probably the most likely place after Baldur's Gate. They'll have to stop there. I'll get some people up there. I think Laosin's got friends. Always mysterious.
We're escorting this caravan all the way up to Waterdeep, likely? Or just across Baldur's Gate?
Likely they won't pick up the new crew till the north side, and they'll be heading out from there. Yeah,
Right,
you'll be
okay.
outside of the Baldur's Gate before you even start.
Okay, well, if the ship's not leaving till 2 o'clock, how about we grab some breakfast and then go check out that armory? Unless there's
I nod with
any
approval.
other information we need to know.
sure there's nothing else that I was supposed to say. I'm pretty sure it's everything. No, that's pretty much it for now.
How about the name of the ship that we're supposed to meet? And probably directions to the docks. I'm new here.
Don't worry about the trifles. We'll see you off the boat safely.
Alright.
But just in case, the boat is the Dawn's Light. The armory of the gauntlet is yours.
Sweet.
And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it.
Alrighty.
At least the main part. I'm going to give you guys some time to dig through anything you might want to pick out of the equipment list to see if there's something that they are willing to offer. There's a few things that they're not going to be able to provide off of the equipment list, but by and large they have most of regular, almost every type of mundane weapon and armor at any amount that you need. Some of the other things off the adventuring gear are not as likely to happen or to be had.
So, potions of healing?
We got 6 of those from Governor Nighthill before we left. Which I don't know if we divvied those out.
I don't remember doing that.
Alright. Yeah, I think we'll
Do our shopping off stream?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. I'm gonna go and call it there. Anyone watching, thanks for watching. And we'll try to do this again next week.
Yay, reading week next, or not this week, but the weekend after.